This is a Dolce & Gabbana suit, Kevin. Look at these little fellas, mate. Stop stealing from your employer. Working in an office and cold calling people for a living. You don't need to go to school for this stuff. It's our little man. But I sure didn't get a prophetic word from a homeless man. Well, I suppose it's time I told you guys about old Uncle Ben and where I came from and... What's up, guys? It's me, Uncle Ben, and this prairie dog just laid an egg. You know what that means? It's Easter, and look at that Tiva tan. That's right, you guys, we're going on an Easter egg hunt. And for our 1,000,000 subscriber special, yay! I'm gonna be taking my adorable little prairie dog, obese man named of Big Ounce with me. And I'm wearing my cringe Kevin Sus shirt, Gun Amoga. But that's right, you guys, today's gonna be an enchanted day. We're taking Big Ounce out. We're gonna dye these eggs, and I'm gonna tell you guys the story of the Urban Rescue Ranch. Where do you think you're hiding, mister? Where do you think you're hiding? You're coming with me. That's right, you guys, 1,000,000 subscrimbos. We went from living in this nasty trailer while fixing up this crack house and driving this bus exclusively with no AC. I'm talking we were finding crack pipes, all kinds of syringes. There was a mattress in this barn that had a lot of homeless people's names written on it with hearts. And pretty soon, this is where the facility is going to be, you guys. Spoiler. But that's right, you guys. Today is Easter. He is risen. We're going to find and dye some eggs, and I'm going to tell you guys the whole story of the Urban Rescue Ranch. But don't let me tell you. Let our co-host and handsome rapper, name of Big Ounce, tell you. Oh, he's nervous. Look at him. This is the first time I've let this little man out for a walk in a while. Yeah, he wants to go back in. Look. All right, guys, we got 3 containers and 2 things to dye because that's all old Uncle Ben could afford. Pop! As you can see, we've traveled a little bit into the future here as far as the timeline goes for the Urban Rescue Ranch. Because I wanted to make this video for you guys after we hit 1,000,000 subscribers, and I wanted to make it on Easter because today's a very special day, especially because this weekend is a very special weekend. That's right, you guys. This weekend marks exactly 1 year since I quit my job at Oracle. That's right, gamers. For 1 year, I have been doing YouTube and Tiki-Talkie and all the other things full time. And a lot of you guys will ask me, hey, Uncle Ben, you old fart, how's about you go ahead and explain to us how you started all this? Yeah, none of these are going to hatch, so we're going to have to dye them. Why on earth would those geese lay their eggs right here? Stop. Good thing is we get to dye these and eat them. How did I go from a corporate sales job to taking care of animals and getting bitten by a large white bird for a living? Oh, Big Ounce jumped in the pool, you guys. He just jumped right in. No, he's all wet. I didn't know prairie dogs like to swim. Look at this little man. That's his little safe place. This is where he likes to go when he feels a little nervous. Well, I suppose it's time I told you guys about old Uncle Ben and where I came from and what I'm doing. I worked in tech sales for a large company out of Austin. And while that may sound kind of cool to some of you and very lame to most of you, it is. So basically, I got paid to go ahead and get sales halfway to the sales cycle, and then some other big Chad would come out of nowhere from Chicago and make the sale, and he'd get like $100,000 in commission while I would be getting paid a little tiny salary. I'm still thankful for that job, and at some point, I'd like to tell you guys about how the Lord led me there. But I'll just say this. When COVID happened, you guys, all the ethics went out the window. Fellas were out there stealing time like there was no tomorrow. And before you're tempted to judge me for that, you all do it too. What, you never gone to the bathroom a little too long? You never sat on Facebook looking at shirts all day, Karen? You never looked at Pinterest while you're supposed to be working for someone? Yeah, guys, I was supposed to be working. I was in the yard making Tiki-Talkies with a bunch of animals. I was taking care of baby kangaroos, and I was hitting my metrics and doing well. But I was definitely stealing a lot of time. And a fella started to feel convicted about that. And what's crazy was I kept hearing at my church and from a lot of other friends saying the same thing over and over again, which was this particular verse. And that, in addition to some other things, kept convicting me. Like my mom, for example, hey, watch where you bite. Like my mom, for example, who said, the Lord's not going to bless you with one hand and discipline you with the other. So stop stealing from your employer. Look at this little man. Perfect. Let's see if we can find some other types of eggs. Come on, Big Ounce. So naturally, I said, you know what? Okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to man up and I'm going to stop stealing. Stealing from my employer, that is. I'm still going to take some eggs. Don't worry, you guys. None of these are fertile because we don't have a male Muscovy. Also, the rescue ducklings are doing very well. And I don't think you guys even know about them yet. Chickens are doing really well too. And look at these little babies. They got their own little spot here. And they're all doing really well. None of them have died. But what had set this all into motion was the great freeze. The great epic freeze of... Oh, sorry. I hit my head there. There's a little Easter egg in of itself for you with that thing. But the great freeze of 2021, you guys. I don't know if you guys remember much about that freeze, but you can go ahead and watch the video. I'll put a link to it right now and in the description. But basically, the city of Austin shut off my water and electric for 3 days straight, and I had no water water, food, or electricity. And I was cuddling with the baby because he was still an actual baby at the time and he needed warmth because it was 40 degrees in the house. That's right, in the house it was 40 degrees. At one point it was 10 degrees for 24 hours straight. And of course everyone's pipes were bursting because Texas's homes weren't made for that. We didn't have enough insulation. Mind you, this was right after I sold my Hyundai and I was supposed to buy a bus. I was driving up on 35 to get it. And that's when that 100-car pileup happened where like 30 people died. Harrison and I were actually on 35 when that 100-car pileup happened. And we just barely left because she had a panic attack. So we left early. Based Marison? Take a look at this handsome boy. That's right, you guys. Next thing you know, the freeze happens and I have no vehicle and just gulab jamuns and chili to eat. So basically I spent 3 days straight just reading, fasting, and praying. Based and monk-pilled Uncle Ben living with several animals in the home while reading, fasting, and praying and not communicating to anyone because not to mention my phone died, my laptop died. I literally worked until my laptop died. My boss still had me working. Take a look at this adorable man. And I don't know what you guys believe about any of this stuff, but by the end of those 3 days, I felt like at least that I could hear God's voice very, very clearly. And of the many areas in my life that I asked for direction during this time, the one big area was, which patch of land should I buy? What should I do about my job? What should I do about this particular person in this relationship? This was about February 15th or so. And I felt like God was very clearly telling me that you need to trust in me and quit your job. Stop stealing from your employer. I'll provide the money that you need. And we're doing well now, you guys. But back then, without my full-time job, we weren't. TikTok doesn't give you a wooden nickel. You could be getting hundreds of thousands of likes on TikTok, but you won't be getting a wooden nickel from them. TikTok really don't care about their people. But that's okay. I'm still thankful for TikTok. That's why we're here. I love China. I also felt like God was clearly saying, get this nasty little 3-acre property that was filled with trash. I'm talking like probably about 100 tires right here, adult magazines and beer bottles right there, spark plugs and oil filters and all kinds of things that are just nasty and dangerous here. And the other one had 2 ponds, 10 acres, and a house and a barn. And it was also the same price. I said, okay, I'm gonna do it. Listening and answering is why I'm here today. So listening and answering is what I'm gonna keep doing. But I should also probably mention that freshman year, around this time, actually, around the same week, I was really depressed from the night before. And I was asking God to speak to me if he was real. So basically I spent about an hour basically crying to God saying, please speak to me. What's my purpose? Why am I here? I was very depressed. And what do you know? I didn't hear a dang thing. So that night I basically just went to bed and I was they got me right. I was pretty sad about that. But the next morning I woke up and I was walking to get some food at the dining hall, but there was construction. So I had to walk along the highway. I heard singing that morning. It was a Sunday morning. Under this bridge. Turns out it was a big homeless ministry where there were a ton of homeless people that were under the bridge under I-35 singing and worshiping. Based and minimalist pilled? I felt a strong urge, what I would describe as a strong urge to move over there. So I said, okay, God, if this is you and you care and you're real, please speak to me. And I'd been there for about 2 minutes and then this random guy who I had no idea who he was, who could have been homeless for all I knew, came up to me and he said, hey man, I felt like God wanted me to tell you that you don't have to worry about what your purpose is and what you end up doing will be great, but not at all what you expect. So just keep trusting in him and obeying with every decision you make. After that, I switched my major from neuroscience to sales, which was very humbling because I felt like God was leading me to do that. I did 2 ratchet internships with Northwestern Mutual and a building company called Owens Corning. Then I landed at Oracle, which I thought was really cool at first, but after 6 months, it was like, wow, this is terrible. Don't get me wrong, you guys. These people took really good care of me. They were great. There's nothing cool about working in an office and cold calling people for a living. There's no gratification in that. There's no satisfaction in that. One could even say it's soul sucking. If I hadn't already known where I was going to be working senior year, there's no way I would have went out and got a ton of chickens on impulse. And I'll put a link to the story below, but basically everyone on campus knew me as the chicken guy and brought me all of their animals that were abandoned or neglected or injured. Look at this beautiful man. So I kept taking care of ostriches with curled toes and little orphan fallow deer and little feral hogs where their moms got killed and things like that people would bring to me, even into Austin. That's when I started getting mentored for wildlife rehab and the TikTok started to pop off, especially during COVID. Also floating because this was one of the ones that didn't hatch. That's okay, we'll just flip it. Put this guy in here, perfect. Put these duck eggs in here, that's even better. Now you guys might be thinking right now, wow, Uncle Ben, that's a cool story, but didn't ask, don't care. plus you're white. And while all those statements may be true, let me offer this as a rebuttal. The night that I finally quit my job, I put a 2 weeks notice in and they were immediately like, nope, you gotta go. Don't want you giving our secrets to Google. I woke up the next day to my video going viral on YouTube, which had never happened before, you guys. I had never had a video blow up on YouTube. It was the How to Survive a Re-Attack video. You guys have all seen it. Some based fedora neckbeard man posted it on Reddit and then it just blew up. This was the day after 2 months of when I had heard that I'd finally quit my job. Come on, children. Yeah, we need to separate them from the mother. Also, this chicken just lives in here with the pigs. It's kind of cute. Now that initiated a cascade that led to basically all of my videos getting decent amounts of views after that. I think I put in too much water. Nah, it's kind of working. They basically provided funding for all of this. But you guys, we are now officially debt-free as of January. And now that I sold my house in Austin finally, I had enough money just barely to pay my taxes. Just kidding, but we do have enough money now to be able to finish most of the projects, you guys. I'm very, very thankful for that. Look at that just slide down her throat. She misses her glizzies. Look at that adorable little girl. Come on now. Oh, literally the day I quit my job, you guys, is when all that started to happen. Whoa, what's that? Isn't that nice? But I am so incredibly thankful to each and every one of you guys that supported us, that likes our videos, that comments, that does all the things, that watches the videos to the end. That helps us so much. It's because of you guys that we were able to do all of this, and that we're still able to do it, and that we're still making a ton of progress. We aren't even halfway done with what we're planning to do here, you guys. There's so much that we're going to be doing. This place is basically going to be looking like the Garden of Eden. But also, all these rescue chickens are super healthy. They're doing really well. Poggers and Queen protect them over here. The whole pumpkin patch is thriving, and I got the nursery set up over there with some plants growing. I'll make more videos on that when you're older. Look at this precious girl. Come here, boo! I got another video coming where I'm going to show you guys how we did all this and how we have a little memorial garden over there next to John's poop garden. You guys remember Uncle John's poop garden? Also, I got a coyote trap set up, a couple raccoon and armadillo traps. Oh, what's this? Gonna have to subscribe and watch our videos for me to explain to you what this is and where we got it. Now, obviously, there's a lot more to my story than just that, you guys, but that's the gist of it. That's as much as I could fit into this video. I'm going to be creating a longer documentary type video of just clips from all of our old videos and showing you the progress. But you guys, I want to encourage you, go back and watch our old videos from the beginning. The oldest ones are especially very, very cringe, but I left them up because I want to show you guys something. I did not feel comfortable letting my personality out in my videos, and looking back now at it, I cringe. Actually, I cringe at most of my old videos. I cringe at last week's video. But you guys, I leave all of those up because it's so important for you guys to see that you can do this too. Granted, it helped to have a sales job out of college, but they gave offers to literally everyone in my sales program. It was humbling. I knew nothing about Kamani's, ducks, any kind of farming at all. I didn't know that rhea existed 2.5 years ago. I didn't know that call ducks existed 2.5 years ago. I didn't know we could own kangaroos 3 years ago, let alone rescue them from getting shot on a ranch. Although I did go downtown with my friends all the time to catch geese and pigeons. And we actually have some old videos of that on, oh, look at these little fellas mating. What I'm saying is you don't need to go to school for this stuff. In fact, sometimes it's better if you don't. Ironically, and this is not coming from a place of pride, I think I may have actually inspired more people to start farming than FFA. At least than FFA has in the last couple years. Also, I used to do shot put. At the very least, you guys can do this as a hobby, and I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Every video I have ever posted to YouTube has been filmed and edited on an iPhone. Every video. And the best part of all this, you guys, at least the chickens eat the watermelon. That's about all you babies go back and eat that watermelon. All these guys were rescued, by the way, from a hoarding situation. You're wondering, oh, why are these animals so scared of him? It's because they literally were born here a week ago. I'll crack open that wadum for Karen a little bit. Oh, is that Kevin's egg? Oh, please don't chase after me. This is my nice new suit. This is a Prada suit. It's Prada. This is a Dolce & Gabbana suit, Kevin. All right, here you go. Have some of that. All I'm saying is you guys can do this too. If you find good land in the city, you can get it real close. Ooh, Kyle won that one. If you're willing to put in the work, if you're willing to put in the effort, if you're willing to work till 3 in the morning, lots of nights, then this might be for you, you guys. But even if you do it at a smaller scale, it's very, very fulfilling. It's very fun. And it's something that I realize people with the most money still want to do. I had some mentors and friends that helped me out with a lot of this stuff that had more money than they knew what to do with, and they still just wanted to farm. And although Kevin is who's literally a demon, you guys? Is this not what humans were made for? We are the only creature that has the ability to take care of all of these other animals. We can bottle raise literally any animal and train any animal to be friendly to people. And if you believe in the literal interpretation of the Garden of Eden, then this was our original assigned task. Literally just take care of the garden and name the animals. That's where my heart is for this. That's why I love teaching people about this. No, let the turkey have a glizzy. And perhaps you guys are thinking, well, Ben, that's all good and fun, but I sure didn't get a prophetic word from a homeless man. And I would say that's fair, but consider this. Monkey. As someone who has spent several nights sleeping in a crack house, and a considerable amount of nights sleeping in a bus without AC, perhaps this can be yours. This is our son, Queen. This is our little man. This is our little man, Queen. Be careful. And I genuinely mean this. If you guys had asked me, Ben, what is one word of advice you could give someone to start farming? And that is what a lot of you guys email me and DM me on a regular basis. And I wish I could respond to them, but there's just too many. Aside from be willing to be the hardest working person you know and be willing to sacrifice a lot of things, I will simply just say,